The story of Bengaluru's growth into a cosmopolitan, multi-ethnic and multilingual city is one for the books. With the urban metropolis on track to be the fastest growing city in the world for the next 15 years. An employment boom that began in the 80s and 90s paved the way for its speedy development into an industrial hub and a global tech top dog. During that time, Bengaluru was hit by a wave of interstate and inter-district migrants, pouring into the city in search of better paying jobs and livelihoods. Today it is home to the second largest migrant population in India. But for many such hopefuls, the dream of a comfortable life in a big city is short-lived. These blue tarpaulin shacks can be seen everywhere in these so-called tented colonies in several low-lying pockets of the city. Its reluctant residents are most vulnerable to the effects of climate change, natural and man-made disasters.
City like Bangalore, which has a huge real estate market, and the real estate market is so dynamic that these low-income households or low-income people, when they migrate from rural area, the only option that they find are these informal squatter settlements. And most of these informal squatter settlements are again on certain vulnerable, unused lands. And because they are on informal land, they don't get any other services. Neither the BESCOM or electricity board will give them electricity or like water supply or like all those things. They won't get any water supply, drainage, or no services or infrastructure will be provided by the government at all. What all they need to do? They need to do all by themselves.
Unable to practice agriculture or find a job in their village, Sharanamma and her husband moved to Bengaluru from the state's Gulbarga district 20 years ago. While he now ekes out a living as a daily wage carpenter, and she manages the household. This is far from the life that they had pictured for themselves. And like most others, returning to their native place does not seem a viable option anymore.
ಊರ ಕಡೆ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಹೊಲದ ಕೆಲಸ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಲದ ಕೆಲಸ ಇವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಊರ ಕಡೆ ಸಾಲನೂ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮದೇನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜಮೀನಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾತ್ರೂಮ್ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ನೀರಿಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಜಾಗದೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ, ಮಲ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎದ್ದೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
These quarter settlements in Bengaluru are often found in close proximity to construction sites or industrial areas, where communities are forced to endure unimaginable hardships. Open defecation is a common practice, and the problem of indoor air pollution is rampant. Natural lighting and cross ventilation inside homes are an unaffordable luxury. The unhygienic, cramped living conditions can have long-term implications on their health. But typically in such a situation, it is women like Sharanamma who bear the brunt of the problem.
The women are confined to these communities and they do not have the ability to move beyond their communities. The fundamental problem starts from the fact that they have no access to a wage, and even these wages are basic wages, and the men typically don't contribute towards anything in the family, so the women take up small jobs around the place to provide for the family. Now, the moment the access to resources is so low, then their access to any product that can help improve their living conditions is also very low.
With a single-minded focus and determination to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty, Lakshmi decided to take up a second job in addition to working as a domestic help. By training to become a Suryamukhi or a clean energy entrepreneur for her community, she shoulders a crucial responsibility, that of helping them improve their living conditions through the purchase of products like solar lights and cooking appliances.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರಾದರೆ ಮುಂಚೆಯಿಂದ ಈಗ 18 ವರ್ಷ ಇರೋರಾದರೆ, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಮುಂಚೆಯಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟಿಂದ ಈಗ ಹೊಸ್ದಾಗಿ ಬಂದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಕೆಲವರು ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಹೊಸ್ದಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕುಕ್ಕರ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ಯಾಡ್ಸು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಿದ್ದರೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ತಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಒಂದು ನೈಟಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಲ್ ಬೇಕು. 5 ಅಂದರೆ 5 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೊಂದು, ಅದೆಷ್ಟು 25 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಆವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೀಮೆಣ್ಣೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಇವಾಗ ಸೀಮೆಣ್ಣೆ ಸಿಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. 150 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ 1 ಲೀಟ್ರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ತಂದು ಯಾರು ದೀಪ ಉರ್ವೋದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
With the additional income earned by Lakshmi being a Suryamukhi, her family has been able to take the first, most significant step out of poverty. They were able to move out of the tarpaulin shack and into a pakka home.
ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಲೇಡೀಸ್ 2 ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿದೆ. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 5 ಗಂಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗಾದರೆ ಎದ್ದಳ್ಳೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗಾದರೆ ಬಿಡಲಿ, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೈತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ FM ಲೈಟು ಹೊಸ್ದಾಗಿ ಬಂದದ. ಯಾರನ್ನ ಲೈಟ್ ಬೇಕಿರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, FM ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಲೈಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಶಾಣಮ್ಮ, ಇದು 2,500 ಯಾರಿಗಾನ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳು.
The idea to aid low-income migrants and other hard-to-reach families who live on less than $2 a day came from Pollinate Group, a social enterprise working to address gender equality, climate change, and poverty elevation. Over 800 Suryamukhis like Lakshmi have become role models and last-mile distribution agents in their communities. Like Mariamma, a migrant from Yadgir district, close to 700,000 people have accessed life-improving products that they can purchase through simple and flexible payment plans.
ಸೀಮೆಣ್ಣೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಒಬ್ರು ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ನಾಗ ಸೀಮೆಣ್ಣೆ ಖಾಲಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅದು ದೀಪದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಆರೋಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತದ? ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿನೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ. ಹಂಗೆ ಬೆಳಕಿಗೆ ಒಲೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಂಗೆ ಅನ್ನ ಸಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಂಗೆ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದು ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಬಂದಮೇಲೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಥರ ನಮಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನನೇ ಬೆಳಕಿಗೆ ತಂದಂಗೆ ಸೋಲಾರ್ಲಿಂತ.
Close to 250 million people could be living in Indian cities by the year 2030. Inadequate housing, low-paying jobs, and lack of formal education are some of the big challenges that low-income migrant groups continue to face, while their invisible labor is one of the strongest pillars supporting the country's economy.